Kiribu, Mheshimiwa, you have heard the argument by these members of your colleagues in Parliament. They want the election moved from August to later, maybe December, because of reconstituting the IEBC. You had moved that motion, and it was defeated. Do you hold the same view?
No, I don't hold the same view anymore. You know, Mtegi, I want to say good morning to Kenyans, and I'm happy to be here this morning, and to say that the horse has bolted.
The horse has
bolted, and there's no time going back again. I mean, when I was here on Citizen discussing the bill last time, you remember it was almost 1 year ago, and I think reforms to do with elections, by now should have been done. And if you know the process of changing the constitution, it means that if you're going to move that bill now, the time you'll have it finished over with is January next year. Elections are going to happen in August.
But they're saying the election from August.
No, Mutegi. Remember my bill was moved in 2014 because I'd foreseen all this. And my idea was, if you're going to change the law about the election date and all this, do it on time and early enough to allow us prepare things. And now the reason they're giving now is to send IBC home. Now I want to remind you that in this country, in the last 1 year alone, 2 years, I may say, so we've seen people going home without having to go through the law, without any law being changed. Remember Matemu?
Yes.
Remember Onsongo?
Yes. Remember
Kaino?
Yes.
Did they go through a tribunal?
No.
When it was untenable for them to stay, they left office.
Yeah.
Now everybody agrees, CORD agrees, Jubilee agrees that IBC must go home. Why do you want to postpone the problem? Why don't they just go home tomorrow, so that by August we have a new commission and we have elections on time? So I'm going to oppose that based on just that thing alone, that timing is wrong. We should have been done earlier. And take a think about it. What's going to change? What is going to change now that last time I brought it twice and it was defeated? What makes them think that now they are sure of getting the numbers this time round? It's not going to work. It can't work. And
maybe they will use a terrain of numbers,
which is wrong.
They are Jubilee.
Which is wrong, and that's what Jubilee has been doing. You know, when we bend our backs, you're not supposed to ride on them. You're supposed to help use that to heal the nation. But every time we went backwards, Jubilee has ended up, just mocking us.
Maybe you can remind our viewers, what was your concern about wanting to move the election? Because the issue was not IBC.
I discussed this with you again on Telly. The implicit view then was the same reason they're giving today. The implicit view then was put election just 1 month ahead of IBC. Just 1 month ahead of them. Then you get a chance early enough to negotiate with them, tell them the election is going to happen 1 month after you leave office. So you can leave office earlier, 15 months earlier, 12 months earlier, to enable us put in a new commission. But then there were other reasons like the exam timetable, the budget cycle, the aspirations of Kenya.
They're using the same arguments actually.
No, but I'm not telling you that the timing is now wrong. And for this reason again, that if you see a bill to change the constitution goes this way, when it's read the first time in Parliament, it has to take 90 days before it's read again. Now we're on recess now, we resume in June.
Yes.
Assuming you move the bill on June 15th, the next time you can read it for second reading is September 15th.
Yes.
Second reading. You debate it, then you have to get the numbers 233 to pass it in the National Assembly up to the third reading. Then it has to go to Senate. So that's something that is going to happen 1 month. I mean, it's going to happen January next year. 6 months to elections. Even if you say the elections should happen in December or March, it is still not going to work. What is workable is that if all of us agree that God agrees, every Kenyan now we talk to agrees that IBC should go home, then let them resign. If they resign today, I can assure you that by August we'll have a new commission. So there's no point, there's no reason grandstanding. And like someone said the other day, sometimes we take even in your house. It doesn't have to be about the law. You should search your conscience. You should look and say, no, my position is untenable. I don't need to be here. Let me pack my bags and go. I sit in the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee in Parliament, and we told the commissioners, we can negotiate a package for you, right? And go home. And sometimes, like Martha Karua said the other day, it's not about money, it's about public service. It can't be about money, it can't be about my contract. If the whole public that you seek to serve is telling you, please go home, why do you insist? Is it you only who has rights? And I've heard people saying, go to Parliament. You know, our constitution is a very progressive one, Mutegi. It says in Article 1, that power belongs to the people, which they can exercise in 2 ways. Through by themselves, like what they are doing now on the streets, or through the elected representatives. And I wanted to say this on the national television, that we are ashamed as court and even the country at large that Uhuru Kenyatta can allow the police to take us back to those dark days where people are brutalized in the streets. Someone is beaten like he's stolen someone. I mean, people are stealing so much money in this country and no one is dealing with them. But someone goes to the streets to exercise his right. Someone is beaten senseless. It just can't work like that. This country will not grow that way. And Mutegi, on this issue of the bill also, we are already having our economy shrinking because of the fears of the upcoming elections. So if you're going to extend time again up to next year, the other year, March or December, you're going to slump this economy. We are all going to die of hunger.
But you also want to suggest the same. Are you not contradicting yourself?
I'm not. I've told you the reason I did this.
Yes.
We came to Parliament in March 2013. I saw the problem early enough. By 2014, July, I additioned to Parliament that these are the reasons I want to change the election date. July 2014. Jubilee dealt with the bill in Parliament. It only came up for debate in May 2015. We are voting on it in August. And I've told you now the timeline is available. Just on that reason alone. And secondly, what has changed? Why is it good when when someone else brings it, and it's not good when Ucheng brings it? What has changed in this? What makes them feel that now it's a better bill than it was when I brought it?
But these are just proposals. It's not. There's no bill.
But no. If you see, any proposal that comes to Parliament has to come as a bill.
Yeah. And
the idea is this, Muchegi, that like someone has said there, let us avoid side shows. If the issue is IBC, let's handle IBC. Yeah, let's avoid side shows or this or that. You know,
obviously it was obvious that the ethics and corruption former commissioners were pressurized by the government.
But that's what we are saying should happen. And
including people in the state law office.
That's what should happen.
Yeah.
You remember a couple of guys talking to them, telling them you have to leave. Now look, how many times has Raila Odinga asked Uhuru Kenyatta for dialogue on this kind of issues? How many times? Even up to us early as last week, telling let's talk. But what do? They brush you, telling us, oh, we'll beat you, you can go anywhere you want to go. You know, it's not the way you run a country. This country works better, and we do well, all of us, when we pull together. But when you want to run alone and hope that you're going to leave others behind, where do you want to leave them? The country works well when we say that we're in this together.
But don't you see also those demonstrations?
Yes.
The economic impact of them.
Yes.
Every Monday.
And they're going to happen. They're going to happen, and this election date change thing is going to just prolong them, because that means that we're going to be demonstrating from now on until next year, January, when these guys hope to change the law and have the IBC going home. What I can assure you is that the demos will not stop.
But the government,
now,
Jubilee have accepted to have dialogue.
No, they have refused.
No, you see, Ruto said you can have a talk.
But you cannot say you want to have a talk and the following day you abuse people, telling them that we are going to beat you, there's no reason we're talking to you, we'll beat you whether IBC is there or not. So you can be talking through your teeth and still want people to come to the same table and talk to you. That's not the way it works. And you've not addressed Ruto, you've addressed the president. You've not addressed Deputy President. You've told the president, you're the leader of this country, he's the father of the country. Let him take charge. There's no two ways about it. Yeah, let the presidency take charge of the matter. The way they have been able, remember Baraza, Judge Baraza, who after Tribunal was set up, was prevailed upon to do what? To resign. What is difficult in prevailing upon these guys to go home?
Even Matemo did the same.
Yeah, everyone goes home when their position is untenable. And for elected leaders like us, you always know that after 5 years you are answerable. Anyhow. So I think it's important, and let us not split hairs. Who doesn't know that IBC is the most corrupt institution in this country now? Who doesn't know?
Well, is it?
I think so. I think so. Who doesn't know? And assuming that there's nothing wrong with the commission. And I'm taking you a citizen, and I think you're the biggest media house now.
Yeah.
You do your polls every day, and you pay money to pollsters to do your poll so that you know who's listening to Citizen Radio, who's listening to Inoro, who's listening to Citizen TV. How are our numbers looking like?
Yeah.
If the numbers are telling you, as a polls body, that you are below 25% in credibility, what is your business? If you're the referee and the players are telling you, we don't want you to umpire, we don't want you to referee, what is the business in saying in there?
Duale has said the president cannot and you cannot force the Electoral Commission because it is unconstitutional.
That is true, and that's why what we are saying is read the signs of the times. That's all you need to do. Read the signs of the times and say that indeed our being here is untenable, and go home. Why do you want to stick there? Today, Mutegi, if Macharia told you that, you know, we don't think your being here is now helping us.
There's no choice.
Why would you stick around? And it's not just being, it's just not opposition. It is Jubilee, it is CORD, it is the church, it is trade unions. Everyone is saying, for us to have a credible election come next year, these guys must go home. Why must they stick around? And why should they wait for someone to find fault? Why do you want to wait and for someone to say you are corrupt? No. Just go home and say, our new constitution has life in it that says this. And if you want, like I've said, if you want some package, but Mutegi, let's go back to...
If we are to offer them a package, who will initiate the discussion?
You see,
is it Parliament? Is it the Executive?
We've given, I mean, there are so many fora you could use. Like, personally, I speak to the commissioner because I sit in just the Legal Affairs Committee. And nothing stops me from speaking to the commission time from time. Like today, we are meeting them in the morning to discuss the PSA report, to discuss their budget, to discuss the referendum law. What is difficult in them telling us that we think that our being here is now untenable, and much as we know that we are innocent, as much as we know that we've not broken any law, we think we need to give this country a breather. Then we can negotiate with them and we'll go to Parliament, say these guys want to go home. And you know, like, you know, Garua said it, I think, very rightly, that sometimes it isn't about the money. Just take a walk and let God take the hindmost. Yeah, sometimes that's all you need to do.
Is there a likelihood that will be done, that they will be offered a package?
Definitely. I'm certain that, you know, no, we are a committee in the country.
Is it Parliament or is it the Executive?
No, you see, the thing is that IBC reports to Parliament.
Yes. And
so if they say they are willing to go, then the best method to use, so that the president is not put on the spot, is to come before us, to oversight them and say, we think that for us to help this country going forward, and you know, it's also good to leave.
Are you likely to tell them that today when they appear before you?
Definitely. In fact, I'm not in the mood of listening to them on anything else, even on those budget things. I mean, the budget will be passed for elections, and any commission can use that money. It doesn't have to be them. You got the point? But you know, I think sometimes it's also good to leave on a good note and say that these are our resignation notes, that in the time we've been here, these are the challenges we've faced. You need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things. And for us, even before we leave, we want to advise the country that the following things are the challenges we faced. And that even if you put in a new commission, it will not work well unless you address the following challenges. It will be a good day for the country if the commission were to do that. But if you want to be bundled out, you want to be pushed out, it's not a good thing to do. Especially if, with most of them being lawyers, I think it's shameful.
So why is it that the Parliamentary Committee is not telling CORD that we're going to do that, so stop demonstrations? No, that's not the way it works. The reason I'm even here this morning is that there have been demonstrations. Otherwise, there was a lull. We are talking to the government, it's not listening to anybody else. It says, you know, you cannot run a country, Mutegi, by always reminding people that ours is to lead you until 2032. That is your agenda. If you ask a question, Raila will lose the elections. If you ask anything, Raila will never be president. If you ask anything, we'll lead you until 2032. That cannot be your policy. Your policy should be to tell Kenyans where you want to take the country, bit by bit, on education, on health. We have everyone striking around. Who is in charge? But the ministries are running normally.
The country is running on autopilot. We are on auto.
How do you assess that?
Because everything else, everything else that was supposed to be right is wrong. All that's supposed to be up, you can see it's down. The teachers are striking every day. The doctors are. If you watch news this morning, you've seen doctors are saying they're going down their tools. The governors are grandstanding. You know, we cannot run our examinations well nowadays, and you know it. We hardly have water. I was in Huruma recently, and I used to stay there not long ago. I used to stay just next to where that house went down, not more than 10 years ago. And that place used to be a swamp. There was no house there. Now you go there, Mutegi, what you see there is like there's no government in the country. No one is watching, and we want to respond to crisis. So we can't work that way. I think a good government inspires. A good leadership shows the way. A country that is going to grow pulls together. But if we are going to do what you do now, and every time you express yourself in a manner that is opposed to what people think, then you're branded. And it's Mark Twain who said, now let me finish for you. It's Mark Twain who said that sometimes the best expression of patriotism is by disagreeing with the government.
Yeah.
The best, and so when people disagree with the government, we are not against the country. And it's our duty, all of us, to support the country, but only the government when it deserves it. When it deserves it. But the government now, as it is, doesn't deserve anybody's support. And Mutegi, if you walk around, you go to central Kenya, you go to Rift Valley, they are barely surviving. They've been a rock and a hard place because they're saying we're in power. We go to deal with this. Anyhow, we go to hang in there.
But even if you look at governors, whether they are Jubilee or Pod or whatever party, they are all the same. It's the death of leadership. It's the failure of the system. That's what I mean. It's the failure of the system, and I think it starts from the top. You see, you can't have a president who reacts to issues. You want a president who leads. I want my president to show me the way, and so that if I go to the streets, I look bad because the president has showed us the way to follow. Can you say on this matter, Uhuru has shown the way? Can you say in any manner? Because you cannot go to the street and tell us, oh, follow the law. Which law? But you see, yesterday, when the administration was there, instead of discussing IBC, they started talking about Jacob Juma. But these are the issues of the day, and that shows the failures. Where on earth, Mutegi, are people just killed and no one gets the killers? I don't think Jacob Juma's life is any better than anybody's life who has died. Yeah. But the idea is, show me, Mutegi, which death have you ever resolved? Which one? Show me. Well, which one? That's not this. Which one have you ever resolved? And what gives you confidence? And that's what I told you. What gives you confidence that this is going to be resolved? That's only one in Jubilee. What are you talking about? Muchai was killed here recently. We have had so many people being killed in this country, and we know that there will be no end to this. And so, Mutegi, I've told you, I still insist, the president must take charge of this country. He cannot be seen to be being smoked out every time. He should be ahead of us. He has the tools to be ahead of us. He has the intelligence, he has the police, he has the military. He can't always be lagging behind reacting. Raila Odinga is not the president of this country. And he can't be the one setting the agenda. But what we've done is such that to let him not have a choice but now to show the country where the country should go. And we should not begrudge him. But a lot of people think that CORD thinks, according to Jubilee people, I don't belong to any of those, but the argument is that CORD has seen they will not win elections, whether there is a new electoral commission or not, so they want to spoil for everybody. Elections? You can't get it. If I can't get it, nobody gets it. Let me assure you. That's why you want to make the country ungovernable. Let me assure you. Elections will be done in August. On the 8th, it will be a Monday. It will be done on that day, next year, and CORD will win. Ask me how. Yes. Look, the last election, Uhuru didn't win the election. He didn't even get 50+1. He was given the presidency by the Supreme Court. Now, tell me today, which plates, which tectonic blocks, voting blocks have changed that will convince you that the results will be different? To the contrary, we've raised our numbers, be it in Central, be it in Western, Nyanza, Coastal. We've raised our numbers, and I can assure you, if numbers were to be used without anybody playing any monkey games, and that's why you see us in the streets, because we know that we have the numbers, and we don't want anybody playing with us monkey games. We don't want it. Our numbers are clear, they're out there, and no amount of PR, no amount of posturing will change those numbers, Mutegi. And that's why we are agitating that let the elections be free and fair. And there's nothing as wrong as losing an election by being stolen from. But there's everything right in knowing that I lost fairly. Now, when we remove the IBC, what is the method of appointing a new one? We have proposed in the Kenya bill. Huh? We have proposed in the Kenya bill because the current law is quite a bad one. No longer there anyway. No, it's going to be there. Just wait, but I want to tell you what happens now. Yes. The current law says very bad things about reconstituting the IBC. It says, you know, under the accord, the president appointed 2 people, yes. The PM 2 people, then 1 person from the Judicial Service Commission, 1 from something used to be called the Advisory Board of Anti-Corruption, which is no longer there, and somebody called APSEA, East African Association of Professionals. Okay? Yep. Now,
that law is still there today. That means that Uhuru will appoint basically 5 out of 7. And so what court's proposing and what we are standing for now is that we have political parties nominating persons to sit in the IBC.
That is like a IPPG of 1990.
It's not called IPPG. If you look at the constitution, I want you to look at it. You see, there's a commission called the Commission for Regional Allocation. I don't know if you know it.
Yes, I know it.
The one chaired by Honorable Mika Chesfrem.
Yes.
Now, if you look at the way that commission is, and I want you to check it now if you have the constitution, Article 215. That commission, because of its sensitivity, is purely appointed on the basis of the strength of political parties. It says this, that there will be a chairperson who will be course neutral, but there will be another 7 members appointed this way. 2 by the National Assembly based on the strength of the political parties. Another 5 by the Senate based on the strength of the political parties in the Senate. Because of the sensitivity of the same. And we are now saying that, and I'm taking, much as you say you don't belong to either, anybody meeting on the street, just like someone says the other day that your name betrays you.
No.
I don't know. My point is that it's difficult now to get a neutral person on the streets of Nairobi or the streets of Kisumu or Kericho. So you're saying, let's not lie, let's not pretend that there are these neutral people around this country who will then form the IBC. And so just go clear, just cut the chase and say...
What political party does Chicharam belong?
That's what I'm making here. That the commission, the way the commission was done, the way the commission was done was that you have a chairperson who will, in quotes, be the, in my opinion, the umpire, and then the other 7 are shared the way I've told you. And you can check it. I'm not making this up. 2 appointed by the National Assembly based on the strength of those parties, and 5 by the Senate on the strength of those parties. So that's what we are saying. Get 7 guys into the commission, all of them part-time, then 3 opposition and the government, then get Amika Chesarem to chair. So that you don't lie that, oh, these people are neutral, this one can do this.
Now politicizing the electoral commission instead of...
It is politics. There's nothing that
being independent.
What the commission does is politics, and so there's nothing more political than the IBC.
Okay, thank you very much. I hope you've been heard.
No, but before I leave, I want to say something before I leave.
Yes.
That the police of this country must know that we are now governed under a new constitution, and nothing gives police a right to do what you saw on the television today. Someone beating a person, the guy is lying down, 4 police are on him, stepping on his head. I was at Kenyatta Hospital yesterday in the evening, and 2 of my constituents from Kenya are there, beating up by the police. Their own hands like this. The one the head was shot. It's bad. No one is fighting anybody in the streets. In fact, if you saw what happened there,
have denied they ever shot anybody.
No. But I mean, I was at the hospital telling you I was there personally. A gentleman has his head shot. You saw Raila Odinga's car smashed on the windscreen. So nothing gives the police the right. And I want to ask my friend Boynet that the success of the riots start and end with him, not with God. It start and end with him. That if the people are going to come to the streets peaceably and behave in a peaceable manner, nothing gives his boys the right to try to break that demonstration. It's in the law. We are allowed to demonstrate. Let him allow us demonstrate and deal with the criminals who are now trying to hijack the demonstrations. But this is not going to stop. Every Monday until the ABC goes home, you will see court down there.
I thought you told me I want to propose to them that they take a package.
No, but until they leave, will not relent. Because the Uhuru and Ruto have shown that the only language they understand is the street wars.
Okay, thank you very much.
Taking us to our waters. That's where we belong, and we're doing it.
We are running out of time.
Thank you.
And I hope they have heard you.